couldn't quite figure out what Ghalib was saying, so I had to start over from the beginning again and try again. Reading the selected poems of Ghalib and translated into English from Urdu. Number 1, the drawing itself protest against us reading this in English. The drawing itself protest against whose mischievously composed lines. Every figure in the picture wears a plaintiff's paper robe, digging down through tough layers of loneliness. Don't even ask. To get from night to dawn is to carve a channel through stone. The wild rush of ardor, you ought to see it. The sword's breath is drawn out of its breast. No matter how awareness spreads itself, my realm of words hides the imagined bird. Ghalib, even in bondage, I'm so aflame with restlessness. Every link of my chain is a single singed hair. In a dream, my mind did business with you. When my eyes opened, there was neither profit nor loss. Actually, except for the quace, no one entered the field of action. Perhaps the desert had narrowed like a jealous eye. Distractedness fixed a black spot in the heart. Clearly, the burnout scar was mostly smoke. In a dream, my mind did business with you. When my eyes opened, there was neither profit nor loss. I still take lessons in the school of grief of the heart, but only that went, and, was. The shroud-covered shame of my nakedness, otherwise, in every attire, I was a disgrace to life. Without an axe, Kogan couldn't kill Assad. He was dizzy from a hangover, customs and rules. Either the world is a spellbound city of silence, or I'm a stranger in the land of speech and hearing. Interesting point. However much the revolving sky was cruel, I was destroyed by the glance of an azure eye. Although she may have asked about my speech, who has a mind to take on debts to speech? Which one is it? Either the world is a spellbound city of silence, or I'm a stranger in the land of speech and hearing. It's either one or the other. You say you wouldn't give back my heart if you find it lying around. That's strange. Where is my heart? Is it really lost? I found you out. Through passion, I found the taste of life. I found a cure for pain. I found a pain without cure. Interesting. I found a cure for pain. I found a pain without cure. Is that the cure for a pain? I found a pain without cure. It's an ally of the enemy. There's no trusting the heart. My sighs were ineffective. My laments were all in vain. He seems to have found the solution. Simplicity and utfulness, those are also good choices. He found a cure for pain, and he found simplicity and utfulness, self-lessness, another good one. And awareness, another good one. In her show of indifference, she tried to test my courage. The bud began to bloom again. Today I saw my heart turn to blood and found it lost. I don't know the state of my heart except this much. Many times I looked for it. Many times you found it. The advisor's bitter counsel sprinkled salt on my wounds. Let someone ask him, how did you enjoy it? Where is the second step of longing, O Lord? We found the desert of possibilities to be a single footprint, hoping for treasures in the dust, a childish business. I found despair to be smiling, with the two worlds as its lips. As the liver turns to blood, it offers a road to the rose. I found that the murderer's sword had opened my heart. These are complicated poems, apparently. Do you understand it all completely?
Most of them.
You do. Thank goodness. Somebody does. The Garden of Rizvan, that the ascetic praises so much. He praises this. The ascetic praises it.
What's Rizvan?
Rizvan, I don't know. For us selfless ones, it's a single bouquet in the niche of forgetfulness. It's a single bouquet. How to those who are selfless don't need it's just a single bouquet. The whole garden is. How to describe the piercing power of her eyelashes? All my blood drops are strung into coral prayer beads. He strung his blood drops into coral prayer beads. Not even the murderer's grandeur silenced my laments. The saw that I took in my teeth became a reed flute. The straw that I took in my teeth became a reed flute. I will show you a spectacle, if the times give me leisure. Every heart wound is the seed from which grows a tree of lights. If you have a wounded heart, you can grow tree lights. We could remember that for Christmas. You can grow tree lights with just this poem. Your glory made of the mirror chamber, what a sunray would make of a world of dew. My construction includes one particular aspect of ruin. The essence of the lighting that burns the harvest is the hot blood of the farmer. Weeds have sprung up all over my house. Just look at the desolation. The doorkeeper now earns his living selling straw. He's got weeds all over the place. Hidden in silence, turned to blood, are thousands of longings. I am the burnt out, tongueless lamp of a poor man's grave. God. Why do we read him when he's just a burnt out, tongueless lamp of a poor man's grave? And we read his poetry. There still remains a single ray of the image of the thought of the beloved. So he still has at least one thought. The bleak heart is, so to speak, the empty cell of Joseph's prison. Tonight you sleep somewhere by the other's side. Why else would you come into my dream with hidden smiles? Do you think that when I go somewhere else that I'll come into your dreams with a smile?
He's talking about his guru.
Okay. No telling how many will have had their blood turned to water. It's a doomsday when your eyelashes are wet with tears. In our gaze is the path of the road of oblivion. My goodness, Ghalib, he uses his own name. For this is the binding string of the scattered pages of the world. We're reading that fairly interesting, heavy poetry. We found a cure for pain in Ghalib. Pain without cure is the cure. We found it in Ghalib. We were reading the selected poems of Ghalib. We read up to poem 1, 2, 3, 4 poems of Ghalib from the beginning.